There might have been different layers. And then there were some, and they're kind of divided out, just like we have governors. Think of it as a governor or a president or something like that today over their region. Once you leave America, our governors and presidents don't really have a lot of authority anymore, right? But once you're in here, then we do. Once you go to Canada, now it's a new set of group, right? Same thing with the spirits. It's cosmic. It's a cosmic war. There's cosmic geography, we call it. And they are cosmic governors, essentially. They're each over a specific region, even to this day. And if you notice, Michael, remember what he's called? The Prince of Israel. Prince is another term for these gods. So it shows you that Michael is actually one of these high-ranking beings, but he works for Yahweh. Just like these other gods work for Satan, Michael works for Yahweh. So we know who Israel's quote-unquote territorial being is. That's Michael, that Yahweh put him over. But there's other ones over the Gentiles. That's why Michael's always fighting them, because it's his war to fight, because he's one of them. He's fighting for his territory of Israel. And Michael would actually still be there today, over there fighting in all that chaos. And that's what we're seeing today. Chaos from those wars, right? So if you go to Daniel 10, actually we don't have time, right? But write this down. Daniel 10, verses 8 through 21. I'll just recap it. Remember, Daniel gets like this message from an angel, and it took like 3 weeks for it to get there. And he says, you fasted and you've been praying since you started praying. I tried to get here, does that whole thing. But then if you notice, Michael is going to have to fight against it. Talks about the Prince of Persia, which makes sense because, Persia was right there going through this whole thing, the Persian prince, which was a spiritual being. He said, after that, I'm going to fight the Prince of Grecia, or the Prince of Greece. Now, the interesting thing, when Daniel was written, Greece hadn't come yet, right? Greece conquers Persia later on. So you can already see what was happening. The war, what Greece took over, that had started hundreds of years earlier in the spiritual war here. And what was happening was Michael fighting the gods of the nations here. That's what was going on here. So that's what it means by prince. It didn't mean Cyrus the Great when it said the Prince of Persia. It's clearly a spiritual war. It's whatever being was over Cyrus at that moment. Psalm 82, 1 and 2, I'll just go ahead and read this just to confirm what I'm talking about, the gods. God has taken his place in the divine council, like I mentioned earlier. In the midst of the gods, he holds judgment. God would not make this up if it weren't true, and we'll put it in the Bible. He's in the midst of the gods.